Welcome to October. This month is full of cosmic activity that pushes us to balance our heart versus head, dream versus reality, and freedom versus responsibility. We will see powerful patterns like T-square, grand trines, and even finger of fate or finger of God. That means we will face both harmony as well as tension, and the key lesson here is to learn to stay centered while life asks us to grow. Hi, I'm Sangeeta and I welcome you to New Era Astrology. Here we decode the sky for you to understand your life deeply and consciously, because this astrology is based on modern psychology. In this month, Mercury is on some special mission because it will be making contacts with different planets and will participate in different planetary alignments. It will make us work towards rational thinking, practical solutions, and it will ask us to focus on conversations, debates, or even internal dialogues. But later in the month, it will teach us all about diplomacy, fairness in communication, and importance of relationships. That time our focus will be on keeping peace at any cost. So now let us dive into segment 1 of this month, so which will be from 1st of October to 9th of October. We start this month with T-square between Mercury in Virgo, Chiron in Aries, and Jupiter in Gemini. This T-square brings in opportunities to learn, understand, and communicate clearly about our emotional wound related to self-worth, and turning that wound into some unapologetic strength and helping others who are struggling with powerlessness. However, that might bring some tensions, some struggles in this journey as we face our fears, suppressed angers, or frustrations. But ultimately, we will be moving towards healing and becoming powerful. So, this journey is about honoring and valuing ourselves, setting some boundaries, and taking decisive actions to reclaim our power. Mercury will move out of this combination by 6th of October, but Jupiter and Chiron square will continue until January 2026. Then on October 3rd, Mercury will move into the sign of Libra, and that will soften our communication. And it will be more inclined toward collaboration, and we will choose diplomacy instead of direct communication. But we must be cautious about tendency towards avoiding truth just to keep peace. So we don't want that kind of tendency. We will use diplomacy to have clear communication. Then comes October 5th, a key day where shape called finger of God or fate will pull this Mercury into tension with Uranus in Taurus and Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Pisces. Now let us understand what this Saturn-Neptune conjunction is and Uranus in Taurus is, because this is an ongoing long-term sextile between these two different energies. These two energies are completely different. Saturn-Neptune conjunction is a rare conjunction and potent conjunction which occurs roughly around 36 years, and that can bring some periods of spiritual or ideological shifts in us. It can blur the lines between reality and illusion. And Uranus in Taurus means disruptions, innovation, sudden changes. Uranus itself is a rebellious energy, but it can also bring some freedom. So these innovations or changes or freedom will be particularly in the areas of our resources, our finances, our artistic expression, and overall our physical world. So these two energies are completely different, and when they come together, that means basically Uranus, we can call it as a maverick, unconventional and rebellious child, whereas Saturn means old, conventional, strict teacher. And when they come together, that means we will have Saturn stability with Uranus innovation. So new ideas, new systems can be built on solid foundations. Then our vision will be grounded. We will have opportunities to implement creative and unconventional solutions to our old problems, and we will make them both practical as well as visionary. Then we can have some systemic repairs. So this is our collective chance to rethink, rebuild some broken systems in our society, particularly in the areas of communication, media, education and technology. There will be some new beginnings, particularly in early 2026, because this Uranus and Saturn Neptune sextile will be exact in early 26. So that shows that there will be powerful new cycle and a potential collective rebirth. So we will experience some changes in our social systems. Then we will be able to integrate our spiritual or idealistic pursuits with tangible and material goal. So, and we will create a balance between our inspiration and our actions. And this applies to our artistic expression as well, because we will be able to capture our inspiration into some tangible form. So I would suggest make good use of these energies. And we can see that these are completely two different energies. Uranus is a forward looking innovative planet, whereas Saturn wants stability and maturity and some structure. So how we can blend these two energies? So there is an answer in this shape, finger of God, because Mercury is at apex of this shape, and it means the key to integrate these two different energy is using diplomacy and collaborations. So Mercury is giving a solution to use diplomacy and collaboration to integrate these energies and then achieve the ultimate collective growth. Now at the same time, Jupiter will be in trine aspect, which is good aspect. Jupiter will be in trine aspect with Saturn, and that will help us ground our growth with wisdom. So this is a beautiful aspect. So it might feel like a cosmic nudge for us to adjust our thinking or adjust how we speak, how we relate, and it will also help us anchor our big dreams into reality. Then there will be full moon. This full moon will be in Pisces and it will happen on 7th of October. It will be the emotional peak of this segment. This is about balancing our rational thinking with compassion and surrender. So many times we think that when we are thinking rationally, we can't show some emotions or we can't just have surrender kind of feelings. But here I am pointing out that we can have both. We can be rational as well as compassionate. So we will have some solutions to our problems with rational thinking and with compassion. Then at the same time, Lilith will conjunct Mars in Libra, and that will add some raw rebellious energies around issues of equality in the relationship. But we need not to worry about it, because Venus, the planet of love and harmony, will be in sextile aspect, which is beautiful aspect, with Jupiter, the benevolent Jupiter. So this will bring in warmth and optimism in our relationships and even in our social connections. So this is a beautiful energy. So ultimately there will be peace or harmony in the relationships. So this full moon might bring up issues around fairness in relationships and will ask us to listen to our heart, have faith, and then only opportunities for growth and stability will be presented. Then by October 9th, Venus will enter in Virgo sign and immediately oppose Saturn, and that will give us reality check in love and money. And also overall around this full moon energies, Virgo and Pisces axis is getting activated. So Venus will be in Virgo, full moon will be in Pisces, Saturn Neptune conjunction is in Pisces. So they all are connecting with each other. So this Virgo Pisces axis is getting activated. And that means we need to pay attention to our health, because Virgo represents our physical health and Pisces represents our mental health. Virgo rules our digestion, our nervous system, our daily routines, and that means it is possible that we might tend towards over criticism or stress, and that could show up as stomach or digestion issues if they are ignored. And Saturn Neptune conjunction in Pisces, that means Pisces itself relates to our immunity or fluids or our psychosomatic conditions, and Saturn here can bring some fatigue to us because we will ignore our rest, we will not get enough rest. Then it will also focus on our long-term health habits that needs some attention, and Neptune will add overall sensitivity to our physical as well as mental health. So this means we need to pay attention to what happens to our mind and body. So how we can use these energies of the first segment? So we can use our wisdom of old emotional wound to reclaim our power. We can look for small but practical solutions. We can speak with balance. We can tell the truth, but we need to soften our tone. Many times tone itself matters. Then negotiations could be the key to have systemic changes and collective growth. And we can use full moon to release our perfectionism and trust our intuition, and we can surrender to the higher power and look after our mental as well as physical health. So to summarize this segment 1, these first days are about learning diplomacy, negotiations and collaborations. It will also make us face our emotional wound with honesty, and then healing will come, and we'll have to balance our head with our heart and let go of perfectionism by surrendering to higher power. Thank you so much for staying with me for segment 1, and I look forward to meet you in segment 2. Thank you so much and take care. Subscribe to the channel for more updates.